LeBron James has been on an absolute tear in these 2018 playoffs, single-handedly dominating the Raptors and carrying his team to victory to an amazing sweep. While LeBron will always be in the conversation among the NBA Mount Rushmore, his consistency and excellence might never be duplicated again. What's up guys, my name is Wilson. With James knocking off the Raptors for the third straight postseason, there have been many past superstars in NBA history that have beaten the same teams 3 years in a row, in which many of those opponents were worthy challenges. The team simply didn't have the superstar talents to beat the all-time greats. Let's start off with the king. Not only has James knocked off the Raptors, who happened to choke every postseason for all of this decade, but he's done it against other teams in the past, like the Washington Wizards from 2006 to 2008 and the Indiana Pacers from 2012 to 2014. At this very moment, LeBron is simply Toronto's biggest nightmare, while the Raptors simply have zero hope, with James annihilating them in every way possible, from blowouts to SportsCenter top 10 highlights to game winners, mentally draining the franchise. It all started in 2016 in the conference finals. While Toronto made it this far for the first time in franchise history, the Cavs looked invincible in the first two games, winning by a combined 40 points, where Kyrie Irving actually led the team in scoring both games. After the Raptors won the next two games at home to even the series, LeBron made it certain that Toronto would never beat Cleveland again in the playoffs as long as he's in uniform. Cleveland gave Air Canada an absolute beatdown to close out the series the next two games, winning both Game 5 and 6 by a combined 58 points, while James dropped 33 to close out Game 6. The following year, LeBron played out of his mind, making light work of the Raptors, blowing them out right out the gate, making the backcourt of Lowry and DeRozan looking like your JV squad against varsity, ripping the hearts out of Dwayne Casey's guys as if they were the worst team in the NBA. After the 2017 sweep, things only got worse for the Raptors as they looked incredible during this past regular season, winning a franchise best 59 games, even having a better record than Golden State. Many thought this was the year Toronto was going to break through and make the finals, but of course, LeBron simply owned them, and this time, the bleeding was twice as bad. With the Raptors leading most of Game 1 and was destined for a victory, with Cleveland only having a day's rest after beating the Pacers in Game 7, LeBron tied things up with 30 seconds left, while Toronto had one of the most epic collapses in NBA history, from calling timeouts to committing 5-second violations and missing thousands of open layups at the rim, shooting 5 of 24 in the fourth quarter, missing their last 11 shots in regulation, and losing by 1 point, where LeBron considerably had an off night, shooting 11 of 30 despite dropping 26, 11, and 13. Game 2, LeBron had an epic performance known as LeBronto, torching the Raptors for 43 points, nailing fadeaways left and right, looking like a man possessed, while the Raptors simply had no answers for him. If that wasn't enough, LeBron simply gave the Raptors their taste of their own medicine. In Game 3, the greatness of the king just had to hit the dagger in their face at the buzzer, while DeRozan was useless, being benched the whole fourth quarter. James hit his 5th playoff buzzer beater, giving Cleveland a 3-0 series lead before bringing the brooms out and advancing to the conference finals, while the Raptors simply just begged for mercy. During his time with the Heat, the rivalry against the Pacers didn't come easy, where Miami saw themselves down 2-1 in 2012. Game 4 was a vintage LeBron D-Wade performance, both a combined 70 points, down 8 at the half, outscoring Indy by 16 the last 24 minutes to win 101-93 before closing out the series in 6 games. The third-seeded Pacers knocked off the Knicks the following year, having another date with Miami's Big Three, this time in the conference finals, where the LeBron-Paul George duel first started. George sending Game 1 to OT with the 3, while LeBron blew by him in overtime, connecting on the game-winning layup. Indy stole Game 2, where PG posterized Birdman on a monster dunk. Each team exchanged games for the rest of the series, with easy wins, while Miami came out on top in Game 7, winning by 23. While James was pushed to the limit, playing more than 43 minutes, averaging 29, 7, and 5 on 51% shooting. PG was an emerging star, but wasn't even the leading scorer on his team. Yes, Roy Hibbert averaged over 22 and 10 that series. The two met again in the conference finals the following year, with Indy as a 1 seed, started out on fire to start the season, but collapsed towards the end with tensions in the locker room involving certain players. The Pacers did win Game 1 easily, but LeBron's Heat stole Game 2 on the road 87-83, winning the next two in Miami, while it took an epic performance by PG to keep them alive, scoring 37 in Game 5, escaping to a 93-90 win, despite LeBron having one of his worst games of his career, scoring a total of 7 points. James and Bosh closed out Game 6, each dropping 25 in a 117-92 blowout to advance to his 4th straight finals. Even though James had one of his worst statistical series, averaging under 23 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. Flashback to early LeBron during his first stint with Cleveland, James and the Cavs had a date with the Wizards, where in 2006, LeBron and Gilbert Arenas put up one of the most amazing individual performances in a head-to-head matchup, where James connected on 2 go-ahead clutch baskets in games 3 and 5, with Cleveland winning 3 of their 4 games by a single point. That series ended with LeBron famously putting pressure on Arenas to miss 2 free throws, opening the door for Damon Jones to nail the dagger, clinching the series. The year after, in 2007, the teams met in the 2 vs 7 seed, with Arenas touring his ACL before the playoffs. James made light work of the Wizards, sweeping them convincingly, where LeBron averaged 28 points, 8.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, while Antoine Jamison did all he could, putting up 32 and 10. In 08, the two teams met for a 3rd straight year as a 4 and 5 matchup, where hothead Deshaun Stevenson called LeBron overrated. Lane Stevenson was still in high school at the time. LeBron responded by comparing Stevenson to rapper Soulja Boy in terms of his music skills, as if King James was like Jay-Z in rap, making fun at the remarks, stating there's no comparison. Jay-Z even made a Deshaun diss track, debuting at a DC Love nightclub. The Cavs won in an easy 6-game series, with LeBron showing DC who's boss, averaging 30, 9.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Other past superstars who's also beaten the same 3 teams in 3 consecutive postseasons includes Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Isaiah Thomas. Before LeBron's dominance against the Raptors, Pacers, and Wizards, Kobe Bryant eliminated the Utah Jazz 3 years in a row from 2008 to 2010. As a 1 vs 4 seed, Utah made Kobe work for everything in 08 as the series was tied at 2. Utah had 2 cracks to tie Game 6, with Darren Williams missing the tying jumper and the Lakers taking the series in 6, advancing to the conference finals. Kobe averaged over 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists on 49% shooting that series. The defending Western Conference champs saw the same Jazz in the first round in 2009, easily winning the first 2 games, while Darren Williams nailed the go-ahead winning jumper in Game 3. But Kobe's seen enough, scoring 38 and 31 the next 2 games, winning in an easy 5-game series. The Mamba averaged nearly 27.5 points, 5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 2.5 steals. Kobe and Pau continued their success against Utah the next year in the semis after the Jazz knocked off Carmelo Anthony's Nuggets in 6 games, this time in dominating fashion, sweeping the Jazz easily, while Kobe scored over 30 in all 4 games, putting up 32, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Less than a year later, Williams, Carlos Boozer, and coach Jerry Sloan would no longer be with the Jazz organization. Even before that, you had the Kobe Shaq era, where the best 1-2 punch in NBA history knocked off both the Blazers and Kings in 2000, 01, and 02. We all remember the 7-game series, where LA trailed Portland by 16 in Game 7, coming back in the 4th, finishing with a Kobe to Shaq alley to seal the deal. Before that, the 8-seeded Kings pushed the Lakers to a 5-game series, where LA blew them out 113-86 in Game 5. In 2001, that Lakers team was arguably one of the best teams in NBA history, going 15-1 in the postseason, blowing out the Blazers in round 1 by double digits, winning 3-0, while closing out the Kings in the sweep, where Kobe had an epic Game 4, finishing with 48 points, 16 rebounds, as Kobe and Shaq put up crazy numbers, nearly averaging a combined 70 points and over 25 rebounds together that series. The next year, the back-to-back champs swept Portland once again in round 1, with Robert Horry hitting the go-ahead dagger in Game 3. The conference finals against the Kings went the distance, as one of the most controversial series in NBA history, with many of the calls in Game 6 favoring the Lakers, but Sacramento had their chances in Game 7, collapsing in overtime. Both Shaq and Kobe were nothing short of spectacular, with Shaq averaging over 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. Kobe put up over 27, 6.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Michael Jordan torched the Knicks from 91 to 93 in the first round and semifinals, while teammate Scottie Pippen defeated the Cavs from 92 to 94. Other notable teams include the Knicks, led by Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell, who defeated Miami from 98 to 2000. And if you want to go way back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s, a few honorable mentions include New York owning Boston from 51 to 53, Lakers dominating the Pistons from 60 to 62, and LA eliminating Chicago from 71 to 73. Thank you so much for watching this video. Will LeBron beats the Raptors for 4 straight seasons. As long as he'll stay in the East, it can happen. Let me know in the comments below. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe to my channel. More good stuff coming soon. See you next time.